and get a win, and we didn't. So obviously credit to them that they beat us. But we got to look at the areas that we beat ourselves as well. I think there were just too many examples, offense, defense, special teams, players, coaches, where we just beat ourselves. So that's really the focus of today, is looking at ways that we can get better. Things that need to be fixed, we got to fix them. And that's what we're going to focus on. And then we got another AFC opponent coming in next week, Sunday, to our place, 2-3 football team, just like us. So like I mentioned, we got to get to fixing these things and then be ready to get to work on Wednesday. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you very much, Coach. The first one will be from Tom Withers.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Kevin. You guys acquired Deion Jones from Atlanta. I know he's been hurt earlier this year. Is he ready to go? And what can he do to help you?
Yeah, we'll see on Tom. He gets in tomorrow, obviously, and we'll put our eyes on him and that type of thing. But just felt like we could add a veteran linebacker to the group, and thought it was the right thing to do.
How do you fix this run defense?
Yeah, obviously gave up 238 yards rushing. So it's never one thing. It can't be one player, it can't be one scheme, can't be one position. It's everybody. So we got to own it and we got to fix it. We got to make sure that we look at everything. There's nothing that you can't look at. We got to be very intentional about that, because until you stop it, teams are going to always continue to do that.
Thanks, Tom. Next up is Jake Trotter.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, could you go through the day-to-day plan with Watson now that he's been allowed back inside the building there?
Yeah, I think, haven't been able, just saw Deshaun this morning for the first time. So we'll work through what we're allowed to do with him for the foreseeable future, which I believe he's in the meeting rooms with our guys, and he's in there now with the guys, which is great for him and us to have him back with his teammates. And then I know he can't be out on the field and working out just yet with the guys. So we'll just take that one day by day.
Any impression of the work he did, football, non-football wise, while he was gone?
Yeah, he's in a good spot. I think he worked real hard, was in town, working locally, making sure he was staying on top of it physically. So now he's just got to catch up a little bit in the meeting room.
Thank you, Jake. Scott Petrick, you're up.
Hey, Kevin, back to the run defense. I know you don't want to get too specific, but are there a couple things that you've identified as the biggest problems that are the first things you're looking to fix?
Well, again, Scott, I think, of course, there are things that you identify, but it's really you have to look at the whole thing. You have to look at what we're asking the guys to do, who's doing it. Obviously, there's a discipline to doing your job. I get all that, but we got to look at all of it.
And I know you said guys have to keep their composure. What did you see on that? What obviously John Johnson thought was a blindside block?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't call it, so we can't lose our composure in that situation.
Thank you, Scott. Let's go to Dale Ryder.
Yeah, Kevin, obviously as a head coach, you got to deal with all phases of the game here. I'm just curious, are you going to do anything different or add anything to your plate here to maybe try and help out on the defensive side, since that's where a lot of these issues seem to be, especially in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, yes, Daryl, it is my responsibility to get this fixed. So we'll spend some time talking about it and put together a plan. And that's, I do know this. I've seen these players and this scheme and these coaches. I've seen this group play winning football, winning defensive football, taking the football away, stopping the run, playing great on money down. So we got to go do it. It's very, very easy for me to say it and for us to say it. We got to go do it.
These three losses have all been frustrating, as you've talked about. It just that fourth quarter and that closing time. Asked you about it last week. It just why has that quarter just been so difficult for you guys, do you think?
All those games are different, Daryl, but just speaking to yesterday, we just got to go finish. We have a really good drive to get down there and don't come away with any points. We had an opportunity at the end there as well. But again, I can talk all about it, but we just got to go do it.
Thank you, Daryl. Tony Grossi, we'll go to you.
Kevin, on run defense, is there any growing concern that you guys are just too light at the linebacker position and with the 3 safety look, and that teams have finally identified that as a point of attack?
Yeah, I think I understand the question, Tony. I do believe in run defense. A lot of it is discipline, running the ball, tackling well. It's our jobs to put the guys in position to make plays. That's obvious. So schematically, we got to make sure they're in position, and then we got to tackle, which we just didn't do a good enough job yesterday.
Okay, and on the other side of the ball, Brissett's 3 interceptions have all come when you're trying to get in position to win a game. Is it becoming indecent? You talk about putting the players in the right position for them to succeed. Is it becoming difficult the way your defense is playing to keep Brissett out of those situations?
I have a lot of faith in Jacoby, Tony. I think he's playing well, and that was a bad play. He knows that. He's beating himself up about that. But he's making some big plays in these games, both with his arm, with his feet, to give ourselves a chance to go score points or whatever it is. So I think he'll be in those moments again. Might be this week, might be the following week, and I expect him to come through.
Next up is Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Kevin, can you tell us what did Deshaun's demeanor seem like to you when you saw him today? And do you think that just his very presence could provide a boost, just from an energy standpoint, and also he'll be able to now help out the guys a little bit and just in terms of game planning and stuff?
Yeah, I just spent a little bit of time with him, Mary Kay, just kind of running to and from meetings. As you know, busy day. So, but he seems in a good spot. He's a very positive person. So I think his leadership in any situation is welcome.
Do you think it's good timing to get him back? You guys come, kind of a little bit, on a downside here. Do you think it'll provide the lift that you need?
Yeah, I think we got to really focus on that game yesterday, Mary Kay, and what we can do better. In terms of not beating ourselves. Obviously, welcome Deshaun back, excited that he's back, excited that he can be around his teammates again. But really the focus is on what we can do to make sure that we go out and get a win this week.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Jeff Shadell, you have our next question.
Hey, Kevin, I want to ask a couple of questions about Jacoby too. On that very last series, you needed maybe like 10, 15 yards to get Cade closer. That deep pass to Donovan Peoples-Jones, what could have been different in that last series?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd start with myself. Like you mentioned, you're trying to. We don't want to kick a 54-yarder or whatever it was. We want to get closer in that scenario. So try to give him some opportunity, some completions there. On that play, we're looking to stop the clock on that play. So whether you can on the play, you'll see. I mean, there's guys that are breaking out towards the sideline. There's guys that are going deep. If you have a one-on-one and you feel good about it, you can take it. That's what happened. Just left the ball a little bit too far outside. And
then does Jacoby do you think he's just pressing in those situations? When you look at the Jets game, especially last week in Atlanta when he had Dearness Johnson open underneath, does he just get locked in on one guy or what?
No, I think all those games, all those situations are different, Jeff. And like I mentioned before, we're going to be in another 2 minute. We're going to be in many 2 minutes. That's how the game is. And I do expect him to come through. I expect us to come through.
Thank you, Jeff. Scott Patrick, back to you.
Hey, Kevin, Jacoby was hard on himself after the game, but vowed to be better. You've been around him now for a few months. How have you seen him kind of respond after those earlier mistakes this season?
Yeah, I mean, that's playing quarterback in the National Football League. You're going to have some tough moments. That's a hard gig. And, he made some really, really great plays for us yesterday. He's made great plays. There's going to be plays that you want back. And he's, like you mentioned, he's hard on himself. But he needs to, and we need to turn the page and start pouring everything you got into this next week, and that's what I expect him to do.
And real quick, the officials made Jed leave the field for one play. Do you know why that was? Do you
I
think it was
don't.
okay.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
I'm-
concussion related.
it was. I don't know if it was, but he's fine, and he was right back out there the next play.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Ashley Bastock, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, all like preseason and offseason, when we talked to the defensive guys, you know, the conversation kept surrounding like they felt like the vibes were different was the word used. They felt more comfortable playing together in the system. I guess with some of these issues or breakdowns that are happening, has it kind of caught you guys by surprise? Like, is this a problem that you expected to be dealing with when you had so many returners coming back on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I think we're 5 games in, Ashley, and obviously there's things that we absolutely have to address and have to look at and fix quickly. You know, we don't have a bye week. You don't have 2 weeks to look at this. We got to fix it quickly. But to your point, we have a lot of guys that have played really good football for us, and I know they want to get it fixed. I know we as coaches do as well. So we'll look at it and we'll just make sure that we do everything we can to get it fixed and fix quickly.
Thanks.
All right, we'll take 2 more. Mary Kay Cabot, Tony Grossi. Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, I don't know if I've seen another team practice ball security and takeaways as much as you guys do in practice. So I guess how frustrating or just disheartening is it for you that that's been a problem? You guys are losing the turnover battle and thus losing the football game.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Mary Kay, in that it's a major point of emphasis for us. We'll continue to talk about it, continue to drill it, because that is the number one stat in this sport is turnover margin. And we got to do a better job of taking it away. We got to tip balls. We got to strip at it. We got to punch at it. We got to do anything we can to get that ball when we're on defense, when we're on special teams. And then we got to do a better job of taking care of it. We and the rest of the league, when you don't turn it over, you got a real good chance of winning those games.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Final one, Tony Grossi.
I know it was Miles' first game back. We understand that, but it's been a while since he's had a meaningful sack in a game. I'm wondering, in the past, he's moved interior sometimes, moved to the left side. Teams seem to be camping on doubling him a lot. Is there any chance of moving him around a little?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into it, Tony. And like you mentioned, just coming back for the first time off the injury, it's definitely something that we have done with him, and we'll see where we are this week. It's really game by game plan for where you want to put him.